Good morning. This is Thursday, April the 1st, 2021. That storm last night didn't really do anything. That lightning that I showed, and then it was probably over. I thought it was supposed to last till like midnight or 1 o'clock, but we didn't have hardly anything after about 9:30. We're still waiting on the cold to get here. It's supposed to be here tonight. But it's still going to be up, I think it's 60 today. Larry made croutons this morning out of some of my homemade bread. They should be good. He uses Italian seasoning and rosemary. Larry brought me here to the doctor's office. This is my family physician. I'm going to get my second COVID shot today. I was just lucky to get the first one. I went in to see my doctor for my yearly, and they just come in and said, "We got an extra shot you can have." So I took it. Well, here we are again at the building supply. We're going to get the boards to finish the beds in the greenhouse. Need 3 boards, and then I need a piece of plywood to go over my fountain. They'll be nice and strong. Here's a shot of the azaleas under the big oak tree here at the end of the house. Closer view. We got the tomatoes all covered, ready for the cold weather tonight and tomorrow. All the tomatoes covered. All the way down through here. We got all 3 rows of beans covered, Larry did, the ones that were up. This little area has more potatoes and a few squash that came up volunteer. These nice potatoes we're going to put a tarp over. There, we got the tarp over the potatoes and the peas on this side, so they're all covered. Here's the fig tree that he's put stakes around. I'm going to put a cover over it. Now this fig tree is taller, so it's got bigger stakes. We got a quilt. And that little one out there's just got a bucket over it. There's the Celeste fig, and out there's the tall fig. There's the tall fig we covered. This pear tree is just full of pears. They're all over. So we'll see if there's any left on Saturday. We put blankets over those big tomatoes. They're more protected here against the building. And we've got plastic over all the potted plants now. We've got the greenhouse closed up tight. I think we're in good shape for 35 degrees tonight. Well, we're here at 4 acres of land that Larry wanted to see. Truck's out that way. There's where we walked, all down that line, crossed the creek, then we walked out in there. This is Saturday the 3rd, and we got frost last night. It's about 8:30 now, and Larry said when he got up the temperature was about 28 degrees Fahrenheit. See, there's more frost there on the grass. And the porch railing here, the deck railing, it has a frost on it. Yeah, it's up there on the roof too, pretty solid. So, a lot of frost, but I think everything we had covered is going to be fine. Well, that freeze did a number on our crepe myrtle tree. These leaves look terrible. Hopefully some of them will come out again. Ones on the bottom look better. Larry said that paneling wouldn't last very long over my fountain, and he was right. It's all come apart and kind of swayed down in the middle. So we're going to replace it with plywood. There it is. Need a 31-inch board to cover that. That sheet of plywood we got at Building Supply, we cut it in 3 pieces. And then I marked a circle on here where to cut to cover my fountain. Now he's going to cut it with a jigsaw.
Gonna try. A dull one. That ain't gonna work.
You want me to go get mine? He changed the saw blade. Our bottom piece fits over the tub just about right. It's got like a inch hangover. We cut a second piece, we can cut the center out of it. And then on the bottom piece we're going to drill a hole in the middle for the pipe to go down through, and then more holes around the side for the water to run back in, and then seal around it so the water can kind of collect in there and then run down through and not run out between them. That's the plan. We're here at our neighborhood church. They're having an outdoor Easter sunrise service, so we can sit in the truck and not be around anybody close. We're just waiting for the sun to come up and for the people to get started. We got about 5 minutes yet. Service has started, and the lady pastor is sitting there on the steps telling the children's story, and other people sitting around in the chairs. There wasn't as big an attendance as they wanted, but you can see people have on coats, and some of them have blankets over them. You can see there's frost on the roof. We're just back from the Easter sunrise. It was 32 degrees, so it was a chilly sunrise service. Happy Easter! Christ is risen. I'm working on making Whippoorwill's Hollow's lemon lush dessert for Easter. So I got there's the first layer. That's pecans, flour, and butter. And then this is cream cheese and Cool Whip and lemon, the second layer. That's as far as I've gotten. It's Easter Sunday and our regular church service is about to start. They're going to have some pretty music, I know, and a good sermon. It's time for lunch. We got macaroni and cheese, honey baked ham, baked potatoes, baked apples, deviled eggs. Larry.
Yeah, I'm here.
And the ham, and Betty's here.
Me too.
It's going to be good. And Betty brought the apple celery salad we always like. And there's my lemon dessert. There goes Betty home in a little white convertible. Larry's making biscuits this morning for breakfast.
Yeah.
And he's got a little flour here and there.
Yeah. No big deal.
This is Monday and I'm here at Betty's. Here's the yard. I mowed it Friday, so it's all mowed. And today we put shelves in the bookcase in the living room and cleaned some white spots off the floor and just did little stuff. Nothing worthy of being filmed. One of Larry's friends from church came over to get some plants from the greenhouse. He usually has a garden every year. They've been friends a long, long time. They're old fishing buddies. We're on our way to pick up the John Deere mower. They called yesterday and wanted $700 to put a new carburetor on it, so we're not going to do that. We're just going to go get it. We're here at the John Deere dealership. Larry's going in to see about getting it back. I came along to help keep him awake. He didn't sleep very well last night. Here he comes with it. Yeah, this is Larry's friend Donald. He's the one that gave us the fig trees. Oh, and it's his wedding. How many years for your wedding anniversary today?
47 today.
How many?
47.
47 years.
Wow.
That's good.
That sounds like forever.
Yeah. Well, it's getting close to 50.
Ooh, okay.
Well-
I might have been married that long if I had one wife.
Yeah, if they wouldn't quit dying. Okay.
Well, I appreciate your friendship. Put that
Yeah.
on there.
Same here.
Okay, we appreciate you. Well, thank you.
All right. See you
Be
over
careful going to Charleston. I tell you, the traffic is terrible already.
Oh.
We went to Ravenel. Man, they run you off the road. And big
Oh,
trucks.
yeah, that's bad.
It's terrible.
Road rage is out there every day.
Okay, Don.
Okay, bye-bye. Guess what? We've been to Little Caesars. Larry had a doctor's appointment, and he got his first COVID shot. And so after we got shot, we went on up to Little Caesars and brought pizza home. Larry's going to town. He's waving. He's got to go get some medicine. The doctor gave him a muscle relaxer to help with the cramps in his legs. This is my piece now. I got all the holes drilled in it. Getting ready to paint it. And then there's the circle to paint. I think all those circles should make it drain pretty good. I put the second coat of sealer on my plywood, on both of them. Well, some of them I got second coat and one's the first coat. So I'm going to do another one tomorrow. The hummingbirds are back. They came Easter. And I got the feeder out and they've been here every day since then. Oh, there's two. I hadn't seen two before. Our friend Barbara came over and got a few plants, and she brought her new fellow with her. We were happy to meet him. We seemed very happy. I'm here at Betty's. We're going to Charleston today. She's all ready. The chickens were all here keeping us company. Back in November, we planted 3 little sprouts of potatoes in the raised bed in the greenhouse. And I just now dug them, and this is what we got from our 3 little sprouts. I think it's going to taste good, and they're white potatoes. We're going to plant lemon balm and sage here by the rosemary under the tea olive, and we're using our cart. So hopefully it'll grow here. This is where the Rose of Sharon used to be. I got them planted and watered, but that lemon balm, I'm going to dig it up tonight and plant it deeper. It's not deep enough. Church is over and Sunday lunch is ready. Larry fixed a pork loin, and we've got potatoes and green beans out of the greenhouse that we grew. And there's broccoli salad, the very last of the broccoli, and the carrots we grew. And we got lemon dessert and lemonade. So we got a good meal today. And it was a really good sermon at church this morning. And the music was beautiful. Here's the lemon balm after I planted it deeper. I think it'll do better now. And then sage up there. And the rosemary. It was supposed to rain, but we haven't got any rain yet. I'm still working on the fountain. We put the boards around again and tried it, and it worked. And I went to Walmart to get coral paint to paint it, and I couldn't find any. All they had was orange, pumpkin orange. And I got a pumpkin I need painted too, so I went ahead and got the orange. I'm hoping that it'll tie in, the orange will tie in with the marigolds when I get them blooming. But I still got to do a little bit more work on it. And where I had it leaned over on the ground, the paper stuck to it, so I got to do some touch-up paint too. Probably another coat. I have some daisies blooming. Pansies are still blooming. Here's more daisies all down through here. And the lantana was under my rose bush, and it grows up so high it kind of covers it. So I dug up the lantana that was under it and moved it over. Hopefully it'll snap out of it and grow. Got a nice bud on the rose. The rose always looks so pretty this time of the year with all the leaves. And later on it gets black spot and bugs eat it, but right in the spring the leaves are pretty. This is my first rose on my rose bush bloomed out. My phlox and columbine are spreading and growing. Hopefully sometime this corner will be all filled in. Amaryllis are going to be blooming any day now. Got lots of buds. Gerber daisies are blooming. Amaryllis is going to bloom shortly. I got all the weeds out of this bed. It's doing pretty good. There's more buds on the amaryllis. Looks like the freeze didn't hurt the pears. They're still all over here. If you can see them. There's pears everywhere. I'm glad the frost didn't kill them. We got some peaches on the peach tree. Just here and there, a few. We're always so hopeful this time of year that we're going to have a good crop of peaches. And then the animals and the insects and everything gets to them, and we never get much of anything. And I think the frost was hard on them this year too. There's just not a whole lot here. Just here and there. There's one there. When we went to the John Deere dealership to pick up the mower, they had pallets stacked out in the back, and we asked, and they said they were going to burn them, so they gave us 3. We got 3 of them. Larry made another compost bin right here by the garden out of 2 of them. It's a fast and easy way to do it. And the mower is running better. I mean, it's not fixed, but it sounds a whole lot better than it did before they worked on it. If you can see, we put the drip tape down by the tomatoes to use it to water, and they're doing fine. Our orange tree has a few blossoms on it, and in the white. They're just little and not too many, but hopefully we'll get some, because they were good oranges last year. But maybe there'll be more buds later. It's still kind of early. Our onions here in the garden are growing and getting bigger bulbs on them. I moved the dirt back away from them, and the garlic is okay. I had to replant some of the beans, but they're growing. Larry tilled everything yesterday and put more dirt up around them. So there's 2 rows, and there's the 3rd one. The tomatoes have all been staked down through there too, and tied up. Larry has cucumbers in pots here for the trellis for him to climb up on. These potatoes are growing nicely. There's a few tomatoes in there, white tomatoes back there. The big fig tree is still suffering from the freeze. I don't know if we'll get any figs off it this year or not. Our pecan tree is getting leaves on it. It's getting so tall. This garden here, the onions are doing better. They're grown a lot. And the potatoes are growing. That's here by the lattice. Peas down in there are growing. It'll be a while before we get any. If you look close, you can see our olive tree has blossoms or buds on it. It's going to bloom. This one and the one in the front yard, these all have buds on them. My miniature rose is growing and doing well. It's got a lot of buds on it. Some buds that are just opening. And there's one down here that's open. I think it's a pretty color. I like it. You can see all the buds. I wanted to show you my miniature rose now that the buds are opening up more. It's going to be really pretty. Well, it's pretty now. But when they all open. The cherry tomatoes that we moved out of the greenhouse are growing. They're blooming again. There's some little green tomatoes here and there on them, little cherry tomatoes. This is the other one. We put it here at the corner. They've grown here and been done well, and then they've been in the greenhouse all winter. Now they're back out here, and they're blooming again. These onions here in the greenhouse are doing about the best too. They've grown a lot in the last little while. I tried trimming the tops. I don't know if it helps or not, but they got lots of new green shoots. You can see the nice bulbs starting to grow. But they keep growing till July or June. Maybe I should make some big onions. Carrots are growing. There's where we picked our beans for lunch. We've got one banana plant that's come out after the freeze. The others haven't come back yet. That 4 acres of land that we looked at, Larry decided it wasn't really what he wanted. It was a nice enough property and the price was good, but it was so far, it was an hour away, so it just wasn't practical for us. Here's a big group of blueberries, all of this. So we should have nice blueberries this year, hopefully. When I took Betty and I went to Charleston the other day, she had a doctor's appointment. The heart doctor ordered some tests for her, so she thought she was going to have a stress test, but we got there and all they wanted was to draw some blood. We made a nice day out of it anyway. Larry pulled the carrots out of the grow bag and we got enough to can 3 pints on Saturday, April 10th. This is Monday the 12th of April, 2021, and we opened up a little more for the chicken run. Another little area here where they can scratch.
What are you doing in here? Huh?
How'd you get the camera?
Picked it up.
I thought it was in my pocket.
Must have fell out.
I'm here at Betty's and we started putting things in her bookcase. Well, we started the other day. We got some more. So she's got picture albums and books, and she's got VCR tapes she likes, and then she's got her Indian up there. So we did a little bit of things today. This is the planter boxes we put the nasturtiums in. We came over, Larry and I came over Saturday afternoon and planted them. So she's got those. And another box down here. It's breezy today. And her asparagus bun. Betty got some things put on her shelf. Got some pretty plates and a gravy bowl. So we looked for some more rose plates that she has, but we can't find them. There's some of the pretty azaleas I cut and brought in. I've got white ones here in the dining room. I think they're pretty.
All right, we got
We're having lunch.
we're having lunch.
Cooking this.
Laura's taking care of the fried string beans out of the greenhouse. They're small, so we fry them. We put soy sauce, garlic powder, a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of sugar. Over here we have potatoes that Laura planted.
In the greenhouse.
They came out the greenhouse too. And she planted that. And I guess over here we got Spam, and it didn't come out the greenhouse.
Here it is all plated up, ready to eat. I made Larry a coffee cake this afternoon. It's got brown sugar and pecans on the top of it. It's one of his favorites, and it was Loretta's recipe.
Okay, I'm going to try Laura's coffee cake out. It sure looks good. If it tastes as good as it looks, it's good. Delicious. Thank you, Laura.
You're welcome.
My favorite.
Well, we still had Spam, so we made a chef salad for supper. Put Spam in with the lettuce and spinach and cheese, raisins, croutons, things we like. Larry's helping me with my fountain. We cut the ring more narrow so the water would come out, hold more water. And I put adhesive on the bottom of the ring, or on the bottom of the plywood, and put the ring on it. And now he is putting screws to hold it together. Then I'm going to caulk it. And after I caulk it, then it should have the water go down where it's supposed to.
Okay. Is that enough or you want more?
You think that looks like it's going to hold? Larry's going off to meet Steffi. I'm canning green beans, 2 pints. Larry's out mowing up leaves. Before he mowed, he picked up all the pine cones in that area. It's a dusty job. I think I'll go get a mask for him, as much dust as there is. This is Wednesday the 14th, and here's my 2 pints of green beans that I canned. I've got another loaf of bread in baking. I looked at it earlier and thought it was going to be a fail, but I guess it had just shut down to rise. Because it's looking fine now. There's an hour and 4 minutes to go. I made kale chips for lunch to go with our ham salad, and this is how many we had left. Not very many.
What are you planting?
Marigolds. The ones I grew from seed. They're almost root bound, some of them. Look at that.
Yeah, you do such a good job.
I hope they grow. My fountain's done. I got the caulk around it. And the marigolds are all planted. All I have left to do now is put the pine straw around everything. I've got the screen there along the base of the fountain to keep the pine straw and dirt from going down in the tub. Well, here it is all done. It took a long time, but I think it was worth it. And I deadheaded the snapdragon, so maybe they'll bloom again. And if the marigolds live and bloom, it should be prettier. The red on these geraniums are just so bright, so pretty. Just look at these gorgeous daisies, especially that big one in the center. Perfect. And the pansies are still hanging in here. These are called solar flare. This amaryllis has opened up since yesterday. It's going to have 3 blooms on it, and then there's another one coming up. So that's one of the red ones. Also yesterday I got the hydrangeas planted that Larry started from a cutting. That one, and there's the other one. So I'm going to have 2 hydrangeas here in the corner of the house. I put them around here because they'll be more shaded, I think. I think they'll be like this location better. And I have a columbine blooming. That's just since yesterday, I think. And that one has a lot of buds on it. It'll be blooming by tomorrow, probably. All these little plants came up when I let it go to seed. So, lots of nice little plants just volunteered and came up. We're on our way to Charleston. Larry's cancer doctor wants him to get a CT scan. Wants to compare this scan with the last one they did. It's 11:42 and 77 degrees. We're here at the cancer center. Larry just went in. He's got to be there at noon to drink the stuff when they do the procedure, the test at 1, so he has to drink all that horrible stuff first.
Well, that was a wasted trip going to Charleston. When I got there, they took a bunch of blood work, and then they gave me an IV, and then I had to drink that old chalk, about a quart of it, and then was going to do a CT scan. Once I got in there, they checked my blood work, and they said that the kidney function was low, so I couldn't do it with the contrast. So all they did was just do the CT without the contrast. That was, to me, it was a wasted trip, because after the IV, they couldn't use the IV. They couldn't shoot me up with that other stuff. And so I drank that chalk, a whole quart of it, for nothing, and got stuck for nothing.
Skip breakfast, nothing to eat or drink.
Yep, skip breakfast. So to me, it was a wasted day.
But you'll see the doctor again Tuesday. See what he says.
Yeah, I want to talk to him too.
Larry's come out to put the chickens in for the night. I wanted to show you something.
Yeah, I like to peck my leg. That's why I can't wear shorts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just a minute, girls. Just a minute.
And what he used to do when they was young, when he'd get the feed out, he'd bring it over here just on the side of the building. There they go. Every one of them ran around the building. And now, every time he feeds them, they run around the building. And then he just throws it all around and they eat it off the ground. And he brings the feeder in at night so the rats don't get in it. It's here in the metal building. Got the eggs for the day. How many eggs we get today?
6, I think.
6? We usually get 6, 7, or 8. So they're locked in safe for the night. Eating no corn and water.
Good chickens.
I guess there's nothing left to say, but good night. God bless.